A long time ago, there exist four great kingdoms, which were Otobo Kingdom, Umela Kingdom, and Achala Kingdom, Obazo Kingdom included. Otobo Kingdom was headed by King Ojaka, and Umela Kingdom was also headed by King Onochie. Achala Kingdom was ruled by Alozie, and Obazo Kingdom was ruled by King Akazi. Otobo Kingdom was quite big, and plenty farmland was also found in it. Ojaka was a nice king. He is a person who retaliates quick to any actions. But for Onochie was a good king that cared for his people. Onochie Kingdom, which is Omela Kingdom, was one of the richest kingdom, and he is a good man that understands his people very well. Onochie has a friend who is the king of Achala Kingdom, called Alozie. Alozie was a sagacious king who knew how to lead his people. Onochie also have a friend whose name is Akazi. Akazi is the king of Obazo Kingdom. Akazi was an hypocritical king. Obazo Kingdom was not as big and rich as others. Akazi wanted to be in the black as Onochie. His greed for more wealth made him to see red, that he went to a witch doctor for Onochie's elimination because he envies him so much. The witch doctor told him that Onochie can't be killed except if during war. Akazi went to his palace, entered his chamber, and thought of the word the witch doctor told him. All through, he thought of what to do, but he was lost in the midst of no idea. The next morning, he woke up and went to his chamber. Then suddenly, he saw two guards. The guards are from Omela Kingdom, so he asked them what they wanted. They said, "Our King Onochie sent his regards to you." King Akazi got an idea immediately, and it was about killing Onochie's guards. So he said to the guards, "Thank you very much, but you are not going back." And immediately he sent his guards to kill Onochie's guards, remove their clothes. Akazi had a plan for doing that. His plan was to use Onochie's kingdom guard clothes to go to Otobo Kingdom to molest and rape Otobo girls, so that Otobo King will revenge by doing the same to Onochie's kingdom. Aka will think that Onochie is responsible for that. All Akazi's plan worked as planned. Otobo youths did all salacious acts to Omela girls that Omela youths were also trying to help by fighting back. This happened for about 6 months. That Onochie did not know what to do again, because the issue made him to go through an ordeal. He was confused. So then he had a rendezvous with Alozie on the issue of Otobo youth. Alozie, being a sagacious king, told him that he should go to the king of Otobo Kingdom and find out how they will settle their dispute. Onochie thought of it as a good idea. Then he also had rendezvous with Akazi and asked him what he should do about the issue of Otobo youth. Akazi has been waiting for this moment, he said. Nice question. I suggest you declare war. Onochie asked, "War?" Akazi replied him, "Yes, in fact, war against fight." Onochie agreed, because Akazi promised Onochie of 250,000 soldiers to help him fight Otobo soldiers. But Onochie didn't know that this was a fake promise from Akazi. Akazi also promised Otobo Kingdom of that same soldiers, which he will fulfill, but he won't fulfill that to his friend Onochie. Prince of Omela Kingdom warned his father to declare war. His father ignored him and went ahead with his choice of decision. Onochie didn't know that Akazi was a black leg, because Akazi would never fulfill his promise to him. Now, Omela Kingdom was ready for the war, as well as Otobo Kingdom. They declared war. As the war started, it started so bad that they broke the rules of war by killing women and children. Akazi remembered the words that the witch doctor told him about Onoche's death during war. Akazi sent 3 men to kill him. Onoche was spared his own life and died in pain. Akazi, seeing that all his mission has been accomplished, then he sent his own show soldiers to go and fight against the Mela soldiers. They fought them that there was no soldier to go home alive. Akazi went to Mela's palace, held his son captive, and said to him, "Young man, I will be the next king of this kingdom. After this war is over, I will bring you out before your people and my people." So Alozie, the king of Achala kingdom, heard what happened. So he went to Mela kingdom. When the war against fight was over, he came to the palace and saw Akazi. So he asked, "Akazi, what's going on?" Akazi said, "Nothing much, but good news." Alozie asked, "What are you talking about?" "Nothing much. I will soon become king of Mela kingdom, and I will disgracefully kill Onoche's son, the prince." Alozie was surprised of what Akazi was saying, so he said, "Please, I don't have time for this rubbish. I want to see Onoche's corpse." Akazi told him that Onoche's corpse was taken to the evil forest by his guards. Alozie shouted and said, "You did what?" Akazi said, "Stop shouting. Stop shouting. You're disturbing me." He said, "You know, that is just a drop in an ocean compared to what I will do to the prince." Alozie's anger was so bad, and he challenged him that if war, let him come. He's ready. Akazi said, "Alozie, you were challenging me." Alozie, "Tomorrow at the boundary field, I will be there. How ready are you?" Alozie accepted the challenge, and if Alozie wins, he will rescue the prince. Akazi had never wanted to bite the dust, so then the war starts between Obazo kingdom and Achala kingdom. After the war, only 20 soldiers survived out of 500 soldiers. 3 were from Achala kingdom and 17 were from Obazo kingdom. Akazi was very happy that the number of soldiers that returned home were more than Alozie's soldiers. Akazi told Alozie, "You see, you lost the war. I will kill the prince as I have said." And then Akazi thought and said, "No, I will give you a second chance within now and tomorrow. If I don't see your soldiers for the war against fights, I will kill him." At this point, Alozie was confused. He doesn't know what to do at this moment. He don't want his friend's throne to be empty when the prince is still alive. Alozie remembered Ojiaka, so he went there and told Ojiaka everything and the person behind all of it, and begged him if he can give him more soldiers to fight this war. Ojiaka agreed, and then the next day, very early in the morning, Alozie woke up thinking of what power Akazi have for him to be so confident. That morning, he went to a chief priest to know the secret power. The chief priest told him that his powers and life is in the calabash in his heart, and that if the calabash is broken, especially by his enemies, he would die. Alozie went back to his palace, and now it's time for war against fight. Aloz's soldiers were already anticipated. They took up arms and fought very hard. Aloze at this point do not only want to help Omochies but also want to kill the author of the problem. So then he sent 3 men and escaped the prince from the prison where he was kept like a bird in the cage. Alozie knew that it would be hard for the prince to get into Akazi's hut because there were guards everywhere. Alozie thought of an idea of using beautiful and sexy maidens to deceive the guards so then they could penetrate. And the plan worked perfectly. The prince entered into the king's hut where his life and power was found in the calabash under his bed. Akazi was laughing in Onoche's palace, saying, "I will soon become the next king of the village and no one can stop me." So the prince brought out the calabash and wanted to break it. So then he said to himself, "I can't just kill him like that. He caused my father a great ordeal before he died. So then I will do the same to him." Prince Ondele of Umela Kingdom broke it into half because he knows that he will be so weak to fight or do anything. He did as he wanted, so Akazi was no longer powerful, not even to talk. At this point, the war against fight was over, and Alozie men won the fight. All the youths and everyone suggested that he will be buried alive, but the Prince Ondele and King Alozie said no, he will be dragged on the floor with an elephant round Umela Kingdom. Akazi was dragged badly round Umela Kingdom, and then part of his body was dragged into pieces. And Prince Ondele and Alozie and all the people of the kingdom came to the boundary to see how the nefarious king Akazi is going to be buried alive, half body, and was not dead because his life was not completely broken, and therefore they stood him upright, buried him, that even many animals came to eat his head, but he was still alive. 2 years after, the Prince Ondele broke the calabash, and then King Akazi died successfully with his head being decayed even at the point when he was alive. As for King Alozie, he was happy to see Ondele finally becoming the king of Umela Kingdom, and also Ondele getting married to the girl he always loved. And ever since then, there is nothing like war against fight. There has been peace since King Ondele has been in power. Thank you.